சன் பிக்சர்ஸ் தயாரிப்பில் பாண்டிராஜ் இயக்கத்தில் சூர்யா, பிரியங்கா அருள் மோகன், சத்யராஜ் நடிக்கும் எதற்கும் துணிந்தவன் வரும் மார்ச் 10 முதல் திரையரங்குகளில். வியாபாரம் DBA presents India's best franchise Expo. இன்றே உங்க சொந்த பிசினஸ் தொடங்குங்க. FOS 2022 19th and 20th March.
Hello everybody, I am back. IndiaGlitz red carpet is back. How did you manage to put it through?
Sreedhar, just like you, Sreedhar.
எல்லாருக்கும் என் லவ் வச்சு காமெடி பண்ணுறீங்க, ஆனால் என்னோட ஃபீலிங் எனக்கு மட்டும்தான் தெரியும்.
I hope we'll try to cross Joe's numbers.
That's competitive level. The Joe's number you want to be. It's going to be a trade talk this week, and we are going to discuss about Surya's Etharkkum Thunindhavan, better known as E.T. Surya is having a theatrical release after 2.5 years because he had just 2 films which released on OTT during this pandemic period. So this is going to be huge for Surya. Etharkkum Thunindhavan is the ideal package for Surya. It looks like that at the moment anyway, with Pandiraj directing it and produced by Sun Pictures and marketed by Red Giants. Surya's last release in a theatre was late KV Anand's Kapan way back on 30th September 2019. So 2.5 years later, he's hitting the theatres once again with E.T.
இந்த படம் ரசிகர்களுக்கான தியேட்டருக்கான ப்ராப்பரான ஒரு ஃபில்மா இருக்கும். 4 o'clock ஷோஸ்லாம் இருக்குன்னு கேள்விப்பட்டேன்.
Now with E.T. he's making a comeback to theatres. So the expectations are huge and the fans are eagerly waiting to see Surya on the big screen. Surya is a true blue-blooded superstar, and let's take a look at what happened during the last 2.5 years. Both his films, Sudha Kongra's Surya and Nanevel's Jai Bhim, were critically acclaimed, and they had huge downloads on Amazon Prime Video. And according to Amazon Prime Video, both these films were huge hits for them. After Surya, Jai Bhim got so much critical acclaim. At one time, it was considered to be an Oscar favorite. It was an Oscar runner at one time. And the kind of accolades the film got all over the world for Surya is something phenomenal. In fact, the buzz is that for acting in Jai Bhim, Surya is heavily tipped to win the national awards this year due to his performance in that film.
உன்ன மாதிரி பாதிக்கப்பட்டவங்களுக்கு நீதி கிடைச்சதுன்னா அன்னைக்கு நிம்மதியா தூங்குவேன். அதுதான் எனக்கு ஃபீஸ்.
But at the end of the day, for a Tamil superstar, a theatrical release is a must. If you are there on the big screen, and the kind of excitement that the fans and the frenzy around it brings is huge. So if you're looking at stars as in the rating game also, a theatrical release is very, very important. A film is best enjoyed on the big screen and with huge audiences around. And Surya's first major release after 2.5 years is on a theatre is going to be E.T. And E.T. looks good. As of before pre-release, the film carries a good buzz about it. The trailer has created a huge impact because it's a family entertainer and it has got all the ingredients essential for a big screen viewing. You have family, you have music and action and laced with emotions, and it should work in the theatre. Let's take a look at Pandiraj's career. Pandiraj has history of producing very good family entertainers like Kadai Kutti Singam, which was a super duper hit in the theatres. So with Surya, his combination is likely to bring in the audiences.
என் கூட இருக்கவங்க எப்பவும் பயப்படக்கூடாது. நம்மளை யாரும் ஒன்றும் பண்ண முடியாது.
The buzz is that Surya's E.T. is a massana film. That means it's got all essential elements that work at the box office. So I'm expecting huge numbers for Surya's ET because of the fact that it's being marketed also aggressively, and Surya himself is promoting it in a big way. That Surya had a function in Chennai, then he flew to Hyderabad. In Hyderabad he had a very, very huge function, and so because Surya has got such a strong market among the Tamil heroes, Surya's market in Andhra is huge. Around between 10 to 15 crores he has a market there, which is really fabulous for a Tamil hero to have such a huge market in the Andhra and Telangana.
Andriki namaskaram. Ela unnaru andru.
And he also has gone to Cochin to promote the film in Kerala. Remember, Surya has got a very good base in Kerala also. His films have done very well, and the market has only improved with every film for Surya. So when you look at it, ET is having a theatrical release in Tamil, Telugu, and it's having a Hindi version also. Hindi version is going to be distributed by UFO Movies, and UFO has got a tie-up with around 1,000 cinema screens in northern India, and that is phenomenal. That is that kind of release that this film will have. Previously, Sun Pictures, superstar Rajinikanth's Annathe had the similar release via UFO and in the northern India, and it got more than 1,000 screens. And when I spoke to the UFO spokesperson, he also told me that it is going to be huge, that the Hindi release is also simultaneously with the Tamil and Telugu version. So the market, the theatrical market for Surya is going to expand in a big way.
இது பாகிராஜ் சொன்னதாச்சு.
நம்ம பாண்டிராஜ் இதே தாங்க சொல்ல சொன்னாரு.
Surya has a strong connect with family audiences. It can be seen in the advance booking for the movie. The advance booking in Chennai and Chengalpet area has been very good, and they are having even early morning shows for the ET, which is a good sign at the moment. And the film has got a 4-day opening weekend. It's showed again, and plus it doesn't have any major competition in Tamil Nadu other than Prabhas's Radhesham. Issue for ET would be outside of Tamil Nadu, where Radhesham would have an edge in both in Andhra and in northern India. But in Tamil Nadu, Surya is going to score big time, because almost around more than 700 screens will play this movie. It's going to be, given the prime showcasing also, and because it's also distribution is very good for the movie by Red Giants, and then you're looking forward to that opening. So with that theatrical opening, it's going to be huge. What I can make out from various sources is Surya has a potential digital valuation of 35 crores. For his digital, for this particular film, it will be about 35 crores. Plus the satellite, you take another 15, and that will be 50, and then another 15 for Hindi television or whatever rights you have, that plus the theatrical. So it has the potential to do about 100 crores plus. Definitely it has, including the theatre. Already the film is surely profitable for Sun Pictures, because it's been made at a reasonable cost, and the valuation from satellite, digital, Hindi dubbing rights and overseas will be around between 60 to maybe 70 crores. So it's going to be profitable, and plus a theatrical valuation, it should do about more than 100 crores if content is good, and if the film takes a good opening, it has the potential to do 100 crores plus.
After 2 years கேப்புக்கு அப்புறம் சூர்யா சாருடைய எதற்கும் துணிந்தவன் ரிலீஸ் ஆகுது. லாஸ்ட் வீக்கு அஜித் சாருடைய படம் 70 ஷோஸ் கொடுத்து ஓப்பன் பண்ணோம். நல்ல புக்கிங் இருந்தது. ஸோ 2 இயர்ஸ் கேப்புக்கு அப்புறம் சூர்யா சார் படம் வரனால, அதுவும் பாண்டிராஜ் சார் டைரக்ஷனில், இது பெரிய ஹைப் இருக்குது இந்த படத்துக்கு. விஜய் சார், கமல், ரஜினி சார், அஜித் சார் இவங்களுக்கு கொடுக்கக்கூடிய ஷோஸ் மோர் தேன் 70 ஷோஸ் எதற்கும் துணிந்தவனுக்கு நம்ம மாயாஜலில் நாங்கள் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஏர்லி மார்னிங் ஷோஸ் எல்லாமே கண்டினியூஸாக ஃபுல்லாகிடுச்சு. ஸோ ஃபர்தர் புக்கிங்ஸ் வந்து போயிட்டுருக்கு. இன்ஃபேக்ட் வாக்கின் க்ரௌடு வந்து ஷோஸை ஃபில் பண்ணிடுவாங்க. அயன் படம் ரிலீஸ் ஆகும்போது டைரக்டர் கேவிஎன்ஆர் சார் வந்திருந்தார். நான் ஃபஸ்ட் டைமாக அயன் படத்துக்கு 50 ஷோஸ் கொடுத்து புக்கிங் ஓப்பன் பண்ணியிருந்தேன். ஸோ அதை பார்த்துட்டு கேவிஎன்ஆர் சாரே ஒரே சர்ப்ரைஸ் ஆகிட்டார். என்னங்க 50 ஷோஸ் கொடுத்து வச்சுருக்கீங்க, ஏங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு கேட்டார். சார் எனக்கு இந்த படத்தில் வந்து கான்ஃபிடென்ட் இருக்குது, இந்த படம் டெஃபினட்டாக ஹிட் ஆகும் அப்படிங்கிற இது ஹைப்பு ஆடியன்ஸ்கிட்ட இருக்குது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு, நீங்கள் ஒன்று செய்யுங்க, நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் ஷோஸை கொஞ்சம் குறைச்சிக்கோங்க, அப்புறமா க்ரௌட் வர இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணுங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னார். ஆனால் நான் அதை கேட்கல. 50 ஷோஸையும் ஓப்பன் பண்ணேன். வெரி நெக்ஸ்ட் டே ஸ்லோவாக மூவ் ஆச்சு. அப்புறம் பார்த்தா ரிலீஸுக்கு நாள் கண்டினியூஸாக ஷோஸ் எல்லாம் ஃபுல்லாகிடுச்சு. ஸோ ஃபஸ்ட் டைமாக சூப்பர் டூப்பர் ஹிட் கலெக்ஷனை கொடுத்து சூர்யா சார் பெரிய உச்சநிலை அடைகிறதுக்கு இந்த படம் சப்போர்ட்டிவாக இருக்குன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நாங்கள்லாம் எதிர்பார்க்குறோம்.
Like I said, the valuation of the film is already between, let us say, 70 to 80 crores with all the rights put together. Now theatrical is going to be a plus, and Surya has got a very good overseas market, and if his overseas, especially US market, booms, but because of the war in Ukraine, the things are not so good in Europe. Even in Europe, Surya has got an excellent market, and then you have Malaysia, Australia, New Zealand and other factors. So you look at the overseas market, Surya has always brought in good numbers. Now, but the scenario is not encouraging because of the war scene and basically some economic issues all over the world. But still, I would say that if the film is decent and if the film has the stuff, it would take a good opening in overseas markets also. If the theatre business continues to be good, then I don't think that Surya will go and do a direct OTT film unless it's a niche market. OTT is a niche, you have to make a niche film. I don't know whether his Bala film which he is going to do is an OTT project or not. But at the moment, theatrical, the kind of mass films that he does will definitely go the theatrical way. And for Surya, even after theatrical release, 4 or 5 weeks later, the OTT platform, he gets his films still manage to get a very good price for it. That is because of his reach. The last 2 films that had done extraordinarily well on the OTT platforms. So OTT, I feel that OTT and theatrical will survive. Both will survive parallelly. And you have to make a film these days in Tamil cinema. You have to make a theatre film is completely different from an OTT film. Why? How? Because theatrical has to be a little more mass, and it has to have certain elements to please all sections of the audience. While OTT can be niche, it can be a class movie, and at the same time your valuation for that, if you go for a direct premiere, it's going to be very high. So far, Surya's selection of scripts and the films that he does it very carefully, and they have paid off handsomely so far for him. If he does one mass film, he does 2 classy films. Now, I think that would be his strategy in future, because as a hero, he has a very good theatrical market, plus he has got one of the best OTT markets. So to balance both these markets, let's take a look at the films that he has selected for his forthcoming films in 2022 and 2023. One, he is going to do a Bala film, which should obviously be having a touch of class and would be an elite film. Then he is doing a film with Vetrimaran, Vadivasal. Then he has a mass film with Sirithai Shiva. So these are the 3 films, as far as I know, which he is working on, or the pre-shoot work is going on all these 3 films, and his selection depends on, so whether one of them will go to the OTT or all the 3 will go to the theatre is still debatable, because at the time normally what happens is when a film is shot and finally what the outcome is, the team, the film's director and the actor and everybody sit together and then take a call whether this film is suitable for a theatrical audiences or for an OTT audience. Because Surya has got such good OTT market, I'm sure he will make films for OTT because there's a huge market. It's growing in a very big way, and the OTT platforms are also looking for content. So definitely he will do something big on both OTT as well as theatrical. Theatrical gives him that stardom, and for an actor, stardom is very, very important. Because of this balancing act, Surya has got he looks very, very safe bet at the moment. Well, that was another episode of Red Carpet 2.0. We'll be back again soon.
சன் பிக்சர்ஸ் தயாரிப்பில் பாண்டிராஜ் இயக்கத்தில் சூர்யா, பிரியங்கா அருள் மோகன், சத்யராஜ் நடிக்கும் எதற்கும் துணிந்தவன் வரும் மார்ச் 10 முதல் திரையரங்குகளில். வியாபாரன் டிபிஏ பிரசன்ஸ் இந்தியாஸ் பெஸ்ட் பிரான்சைஸ் எக்ஸ்போ. இன்றே உங்க சொந்த பிசினஸ் தொடங்க. FOS 2022 19th and 20th March.